And hello YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and final review for Superman and Lois Season 4, Episode 10. The end of an era is here from 2012 all the way to now, 2024. The end of the Arrowverse is here, folks. And it kind of hurts. I was thinking about this all day today. And I'm going to do a video of the best of the Arrowverse and why was the Arrowverse so important to not only DC television, but also just superhero shows in general. And I'll do a video on that probably in a couple of weeks. So let's talk about the last episode, episode 10. And guys, we got to see a comic accurate Doomsday from last week. Comic accurate Doomsday, better looking than what we got from Smallville, way better than what we got from Superman and Lois. I mean, you may like the other versions better, that's cool, but this was probably the best comic book version we have seen. And we got to see the rematch between Superman and Doomsday, and obviously Superman defeats him and he kills Doomsday again, and then this time he makes sure he kills him permanently by throwing him into the sun. And then the showdown starts, as in my opinion, probably the second greatest comic book rivalry in the history of comic books. You have Superman and his greatest nemesis, more deadlier than Doomsday, more crazier than Brainiac, more determined than Darkseid, Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is a man, human blood, flesh, all that, whose obsession of not only being proven to the world that he, as a human being, is better than Superman, is also determined to destroy him. Whether that's the body, the mind, whatever it is, he is so determined to destroy Superman in any kind of iteration if we ever gotten him. This might be the best version we ever got. As much as the small moments of having Lex Luthor in this show, as small as it was, this might be the best, on-screen Superman versus Lex Luthor story we have ever seen. And I'm sorry, and I love Smallville, and we got to see Clark and Michael Rosenbaum's Lex Luthor, and that was great, but we never got to see Superman versus Lex in Smallville. We saw Clark and Lex become friends, become enemies, and but now seeing Superman and Lex really passionately at each other's throats. Lex Luthor hates Superman, just hates him, hates the idea of him, of people throwing parties for him, balloons, getting keys to the city, having the beautiful girl and the beautiful family. He hates it. He wants all that. He may have all the money in the world, become president in the comics, but he's just a guy who doesn't have it all. Because the fans of Superman is what kills Lex Luthor. And to see them go head to head was great. Got to see Lex Luthor tonight in his war suit armor from the comics, and it's just all decked out, which he stole from John, Henry. He stole his suit, decked it out as a Lex Luthor suit, and they went ham on each other. Obviously, Superman prevails. Lex tries to use kryptonite as much as he can to take him out. Superman just defeats him, obviously, without ease, obviously, but he does. There's a moment in the episode where he literally punches him so hard, he basically, in the comics, kind of like in the comics, where Superman punches Lex Luthor so hard that the suit breaks, with the vibrations. Beautiful shot. Beautiful, beautiful shots. And then he defeats Lex. He doesn't let him fall to his death, which, you figure, okay, this guy's a lot crazy. This guy's been trying to come after your wife and your children. Maybe he should just grab him and toss him to the sun. But Superman's this Boy Scout, as much as we like to make fun of that, he just grabs him, puts him to the ground, sends him off to prison. Although, he gets out the legal way, unlike, Batman's villains, but still. Great to see him, Superman, sparing Lex Luthor's life. That's the difference between Superman and Lex. You know, one is willing to do anything for the kill. The other one's willing to do anything to preserve his so-called villains. He even spares, you know, Darkseid, Brainiac, you know, sometimes even Doomsday. He would just lock up Doomsday in the Phantom Zone or somewhere where he can't hurt anybody. And only rare occasions Superman will actually kill. He has killed before, but only in rare occasions. But still, Lex Luthor goes to jail. He meets up with Mannheim again. And then Lex Luthor ends up in jail where, you know, he's not getting the luxury jail, you know, the private cells and the big screen TVs. No, he's getting locked up like a regular criminal. You know, small jail cell, bars, no TV, nothing fancy. Can't wear his suit to prison, wearing a jumpsuit. He's locked up. How long? Who knows? But, you know, Arrowverse is over, so forever, obviously. But you know what I mean. Then we get to do a flash forward, just seeing Superman or Clark and Lana, you know, walking down the aisle to marry John Henry, because they fell in love, obviously, throughout this show. And then they get married. And they live happily ever after, which is cool. We also get to see a flash forward. Years later passed by. We see Clark starting to get old. You know, being with Lois, and seeing Lois get old, and see the boys grow up. They get 2 new actors to come in to play the older selves, and they have their own families now. Seeing Clark and Lois become grandparents to a lot of grandkids. So that was great. There's also a little sad moment, but also full circle. Because the show started, if you guys remember the first episode of the first season, the show starts with Clark on the bedside of his mother, of Martha Kent, passing away peacefully in her bed. Lois's cancer comes back years later. She's lying in bed. Clark's with her. She slowly passes away. She sees her father one last time, and then she sadly passes away. Then Clark is left alone in the house, all gray. He's really old. And then he gets a dog, finally gets a dog. He gets Crypto. Normal dog, obviously, but he gets a dog. He suffers a heart attack. And then he eventually passes away. And he's okay with it. He's okay with it. Full circle comes around. He saw his mother pass away there. His wife passed away there. And he passed away. So basically, the Arrowverse has killed Oliver, Felicity, Clark, and Lois. And yeah, pretty much. So yeah, the main 4 all dead. Barry's still alive, obviously. Supergirl still alive, which I'm shocked she never came into the show, or even a mention of a Supergirl, you know. But what can you do? Of course, at the end, Superman opens the door. You know, he sees Lex Luthor. He forgives him for all he's done, all he's put on him, so that way he can peacefully pass away, not having that burden in his chest, I guess. And he opens the door to the house. He sees his beautiful wife Lois in a beautiful dress, and it ends right there. Superman passed away peacefully, and that's the end of the Superman and Lois show and Arrowverse altogether. Great, fantastic show. You know, there's some things in here that I kind of wish we would have got more of. You know, a little bit more of maybe Clark and Lana's relationship as friends. You know, we got glimpses of it, sure, but never really got the full extent of like why, you know, they were friends. Because you know, this is a new Lana Lang, so we don't know the backstory between them from high school. You know, we should have got some flashbacks of that. That would have been cool. You know, I loved her chemistry with Lois. You know, them being close friends. I wish we would have got Superman this, you know, maybe not die, but what can you do? I always wanted to see a Superman, you know, lose Lois to either old age or something, and he's older, but remember, he's supposed to, you know, have slow aging abilities, but, you know, with his normal heart, he actually got old. So I would have liked to see him have his powers still and just deal with the fact that he's living in a world without Lois in his life, The boys get their own suits at the end of the episode after they kill Doomsday and lock up Lex with Steel. He's got his comic accurate suit as well, which is awesome. So that was cool. Overall, Superman and Lois was a good show. They really humanized Superman in a good way, you know, showing us what's the most powerful character in the DC world. His greatest weakness is not kryptonite. It's basically him having to deal with having a family. And how can he handle that? How can he handle being a father, being a husband, and also taking care of the planet itself as Superman? So they really did a good job on that, and I thought they did a great job overall with this show. Although I do wish they would have introduced Superman earlier in the Arrowverse. I would have loved to see him team up with the Flash, maybe a little more, maybe a Batwoman or something, or even the Legion of, you know, the Legends of Tomorrow team. You know, I really wish we got more of that, or even him and Kara more. You know, we never really got that. And I understand Supergirl had her own show where they wanted to just focus on her. And the same thing here with Superman. But they really should have introduced Superman a lot earlier. But overall, the Arrowverse was fun. I enjoyed the heck out of it. Every single show was great. Some were better than others. But every single show was great. And I'm the only one here on YouTube who covered every single show from Arrow all the way to now. So I'm the only one who's done it. So I want to say thank you to everybody who's watched my videos throughout all the Arrowverse. I have done all of them. Batwoman through all of them. And this has been fun. And hopefully we get to see new DC content on television / movies. And we can continue the journey. Because DC's coming back stronger than ever. And we still got Marvel doing this thing. And Star Wars is here too. And you know, I will continue giving more coverage. So, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. What is your favorite Arrowverse show? Mine's is still Arrow, obviously. I thought Arrow was just phenomenal. I love that show from top to bottom. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what your favorite show was overall. What do you loved about the Arrowverse? What you didn't love about the Arrowverse? What are you going to miss most of all? The actors, the groundness of the shows, the campiness, whatever, you know, they had a little bit of both. So yeah, so leave me a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much, and have a good night.